What's up, everybody? Welcome to From the Forum, your Friday night Q&A show. I got a killer crew with me tonight and all of their pets and animals also in the show that will pop in and out of it. But real quick, guys, if you would, just introduce yourself, tell people who you are, where they can find your content, and we're going to kick it into the show.
Oh, yeah. So I'm Jacob Croghan. You can find me at BS in Sports Bets. I'm part of the BS Network, where we do a little bit of BS and we talk a whole lot of sports.
I'm Tipp. I love being here with you guys. I'm with the Sports Affiliation. You can catch me out on X and other platforms as well, but mainly on X and YouTube.
And I'm Rachel. You can find me at Tootsie Pop 6 over on X, and I'm the founder of Unwind FF, which is a community of women who love fantasy football. We meet on Zooms every couple of weeks. Our next one is October 29th, so hit me up at Unwind FF if you'd like to join us.
I freaking love that, Rachel. We have an all women's league that we do a show on Wednesday nights for called the Queen's Ransom. And let me tell you, I don't care what anybody says. Them women's is cutthroat. Okay.
They are. Oh, man.
They play some fantasy football. I don't care. I appreciate you being on the show. I'm a big fan and big proponent of women in fantasy sports. So love what you're doing and super appreciate you being here.
Happy to be here. Thanks, Tyler.
No problem. So big week. What the heck? My thing's going weird. All right, there we go. So yeah, big things in the NFL this week. Some big trades, some big question marks. Obviously, Jake, you had a great night last night. I see all that Denver stuff back there. I see, I know you had a running back that just showed up.
Oh, yeah.
How you feeling after last night's win?
I loved it. Yes, we were playing against second, third stringers, absolutely, in the Saints defense and offense. But we went out there, handled business, and Javonte Williams finally showed that he's back from the ACL tear that he suffered 2 years ago. They ran the ball, ran it effectively, and he did a great job, as he should have, against that defense. So I love seeing it as a Denver Broncos fan, and then I own a ton of shares in Javonte Williams, so I loved seeing that as well.
Well, and then, I was super impressed. Tipp, let me ask you this. A lot of the question marks around Rattler, and can he be an NFL quarterback? What are you thinking so far based on what you've seen?
He's a fifth-round quarterback. He's showing that he's a fifth-round quarterback. He had some plays that, the last two games where he flashed. He shows that he has the potential. I like what he does with his legs, but he's still learning the system. He's still, again, and it doesn't help that he doesn't have Chris Olave. He doesn't have Taysom Hill. He doesn't have Rashid Shaheed. So it's kind of like he's playing with the guys that he was practicing with in the preseason, the second team or the third team. So that's what he's dealing with right now. And that's what you saw on the field yesterday. So it's going to take some time for him. Hopefully Olave comes back soon. Hopefully he gets some of these players back who are on IR and injured this year, and they can work together.
And Rachel, I'm curious, okay? A lot of the world is wondering, okay, is Bub Means for real?
I'm not so sure. We shall see.
I know I hit you with the doozy. No, these players, they develop, they grow over time. It's fun to see. I like Rattler. I think he has some potential. Obviously, in that team, in that game, you're playing a tough defense. Denver's ranked in the top 10. Even without Surtain, like they're strong. He's got no receivers out there. He's trying to make it happen with Juwan Johnson and Bub Means, and they were shutting down Kamara, and that killed me. Like the Kamara. I played Kamara in DFS. I was like, he's gonna have a day. It's gonna be all kinds of dump offs, and he had dump offs, but he had a total of like, what was it, 23 yards or something like that on the night. Like it was a doozy for the Saints. But we got all kinds of people popping in the chat. Brian, what's crack-a-lacking? Mel, Tipp, and Tyler, what's up, Mel?
What's up?
Giving Rachel some love.
Hey, Mel.
Then we got Bear Fan Pete. Look at these great, beautiful people. And Pete, you're just that guy. You know, just that guy. So great. And we got questions already popping in the chat. We got World of Jesus. So the first time he popped in, I messed that up. But then somebody corrected me, and I'm with it. Okay. So I traded away Josh Allen and Monty for Mahomes, Mason, and CMC in redraft. So Rachel, tell me, what do you think? You think it was a good trade? You think it was a mistake? Is this going to win in the league? How do you feel about it?
Well, definitely. Mahomes has not been a good fantasy quarterback. And I mean, Josh Allen hasn't been perfect either, but he's been decent. So I kind of like the Josh Allen Monty side, because Monty's giving you a touchdown every single game. But I mean, well, but it's redraft. I mean, that would be good for Dynasty, the second side. So I kind of like the first side for redraft, Josh Allen and Monty.
Anybody else? Everybody agree?
Yeah, I agree. I look, the whole Mason and CMC thing right there. When CMC comes back, there's a lot of people speculating that he'll be fully back. There's a lot of people speculating that he could be a split. I'm on the favor of it's going to be more of a split between him and Mason, CMC. So I think with Mahomes, though, see, the thing is, they're going to make a splash play. They're going to at least attempt to make a splash to get a wide receiver there for Mahomes. Whoever that person may be, I don't know, but I think they're going to attempt to. And then that's going to make Mahomes' value skyrocket. But I think on this one, you got to stay with the Josh Allen and Monty. The way Monty's playing right now is insane.
Now, he said he does have JD5 too.
Oh,
I don't think it changes much for me though, because you're still basically, the trade is a swap of quarterbacks. So whether you have Allen or Jane Daniels, and then go ahead.
No, I was going to say you do need to. I mean, if this is not, I'm assuming it's not a two QB league. He needs to trade one of those quarterbacks immediately. I think both of them have like crazy value right now. I mean, Jaden Daniels maybe a little bit more, but Josh Allen, he's been looking good. He hasn't thrown any interceptions yet. He just got Amari Cooper, so that's another bonus. I think that in of itself could net a wide receiver, borderline wide receiver 1 for sure, wide receiver 2, or borderline running back 1, running back 2 for sure, for Josh Allen or Jaden Daniels.
Agree. Next question popping in. I was offered Amari Cooper and Malik Neighbors for Justin Jefferson and Michael Pittman Jr. Should I take it? Jacob, you're nodding your head. You're saying yes. Let us know why. What's up?
Yes. Okay. So I assume this is redraft. If it's not, then it's kind of a different story here. But Malik Neighbors is the target there for Daniel Jones. He is he's the guy that is getting every pass thrown to him. He's going to get his for PPR. That is what you want. And then Amari Cooper going to the wide receiver list. Bills, you had Shakir there, but he wasn't consistent. He hasn't stayed healthy. Cooper is the guy there. He's going to be the guy there. And Josh Allen finally has the wide receiver 1 that he needs. And we saw what Cooper can do with the Browns, even though Deshaun Watson couldn't get him the ball. The targets were there. But at the end of the day, I think Cooper is in a better spot. Malik Neighbors is going to get you – those two will get you more points. And with Anthony Richardson and Michael Pittman, you're not going to get the consistency there. You'll get it with Justin Jefferson. He's quarterback proof. But at the end of the day, you're getting more points from Cooper and Neighbors than you are from Jefferson and Pittman.
Anybody else want to chime in? Agree? Disagree?
I agree. Yeah, you got two fire wide receivers with Cooper and Neighbors. You got Justin Jefferson, which is amazing, but Pittman's kind of with the Richardson not being consistent as well. Yeah, so I definitely like the first side.
All right, we got more in the chat. Nino Pina letting me know last week. He said, I don't know if you remember the debate we had last week between Pickens and Tolbert. I was on the Pickens side. Everybody else was on the Tolbert side. He's letting me know they literally had the exact same amount of points.
Oh, that's crazy. That's
so
cool.
Nobody won that one. I will say this, though. Pickens was really close. In fact, a mere drop away from a much different game. And I say it wasn't a drop. The defender played that ball really well in the corner. Like he had the catch and he just punched the ball out of his hands right there in the corner of the end zone. And in that point, I would have took it home. No, I'm just kidding. So, Brent Bradford coming in, bringing the heat. We talked about it a little bit before we went live, but Fields or Russell Wilson, who's it going to be this week? And how do you feel about it? Tipp, you look like you're about to cry. You must have him on your team. Like
I'm about to
make the decision.
No. See, the thing about this whole, I think at the beginning of the week, Coach Mike Tomlin has not liked the way this offense has looked with Justin Fields at the quarterback. So I think what Mike Tomlin's MO here was to, basically give him a kick in the pants and say, look, Russell Wilson's healthy. He's ready to go. So, we're going to go ahead and give Russell Wilson a look. Now, could Russell Wilson still end up being the starter? Yeah, because I think Mike Tomlin was for real about that. And if Justin Fields did not have a good practice, I haven't heard about, how he looked in practice or anything like that. If they really feel like on Sunday morning Sunday morning, because they play Sunday night, Sunday morning that they want to really roll out there with Russell Wilson, they'll do it. The thing is, it's weird though, is that Mike Tomlin really doesn't care about your fantasy points. All he cares about is winning, and they're winning. They're 4-2. So that's what kind of gives me a little bit of like, why would you change it right now when you're 4-2? But I understand Justin Fields has not played well at least the last 2 weeks. They lost a game they could have beat against the Colts, but other than that, man, like he hasn't been great. So I think that's just a kick in the pants. I think we still see Justin Fields, but they could also be trying to showcase Russell Wilson for some of these other teams who are missing out on quarterbacks too. So that's another aspect of the situation too, because these other teams are not going to look at Russell Wilson if he's not on the field. They're not going to call.
Yeah, Jake, you mentioned some a little caveat to Russ's or to the trade there that may be playing into this. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I was talking to our boy Pete, and he was telling me that literally the Steelers have to pay a 4th-round pick for Fields if he plays more than 60% of the snaps. And so this could be them trying to pay a 6th-round pick instead. So, I mean, that's getting into politics of it. I don't think the Steelers play that type of ball game personally, but at the end of the day, if you are a Pickens fantasy owner, you want Russell Wilson. Because what Russell Wilson has done time and time again since he's played quarterback is he has his one receiver that he gets the ball to. He did it with Sutton at Denver. He did it with Doug Baldwin. He did it with Lockett. And DK Metcalf had his best years with Russell Wilson. So Pickens owners would love to see Wilson. But at the end of the day, I think Justin Fields is the best for the Steelers. And from a fantasy perspective, I have a few Field shares. It kind of hurts. And so, but going against the Jets, tough defense, I think it's rough for Russell Wilson to go in there and perform well.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would do it then.
Yeah. No, you do that when you're playing against the Carolina Panthers, maybe the Washington Commanders defense or the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. Not against this one, because now you're gonna bring a Russell Wilson who we haven't seen how healthy his leg is or his calf is, and yeah, they could be going right back to Justin Fields.
Yeah, no, exactly, and that's what I think is going to happen. Is Wilson's going to take too many sacks like he's done time and time again. He's the most sacked quarterback since he's joined. And it's just going to be rough for him, in my personal opinion. That offensive line is not great.
Yeah, I'm a big Russell Wilson fan. I followed Russell Wilson since he played in high school at collegiate. I'm a fan. I bought his first hoodie when he launched his very first clothing brand. I like Russ. He's good people.
He has a clothing brand?
He did back in the day.
I did not know
he does
that.
now too.
I know he has that dangerous sandwich, but I didn't know he had oh wow.
So
I'm Googling it right now. I gotta see these clothes. I'm sorry, the dude is I like weird. I do. Russell Wilson is a weird dude. I'm pretty sure he's a nice person, but he's just kind of like, I don't know how to like explain it because it's gonna sound really mean, and I'm not gonna do that. But he just seems like he's just a different character.
He is very different. But anyway, so what I was getting at before we went on the clothing rant, I should never brought that up. Right before we got on the show, I watched a video, and it was George Pickens doing an interview, and they were talking to him about this week's practice and how it was going, and he was talking about the practicing with Russell Wilson, and that Russell Wilson was staying late after practices, and they were getting some more reps in, just trying to get familiar. And, he slipped up, and he was like, it's going to be his first start. He said that in an interview. So it kind of locked in. I think that they're going to roll with Russell Wilson. I do agree, Tipp. This is probably the worst game to be like, hey man, here's your first start with this team. Let's throw you against the Jets. I'm hoping, as a Pickens owner, I agree, Jake. I'm hoping for a big day throwing the football. So we'll see how it plays out. Thanks for asking the question, Brent Bradford.
I like his clothes. They're pretty cool. I'm looking at them. They're not bad. Okay, it's not what I expected. I expected something totally different.
He was expecting I
don't know what I was expecting.
With Will
Russell Wilson, it could be anything.
True. I won't go there. Jamie Frey, Monty has been one of my must picks this season, like Mostert was for Rachel. Rachel, I'm sorry. I would not have agreed with the Mostert take because
not working out.
Well, Mike McDaniels can't ever keep a running back healthy. It doesn't matter where he goes. The running backs are always beat up. Yeah. But Monty has been absolutely, you can count on, touchdown every week. That offense has looked beast. Greinberg saying worthy after the bye. I buying maybe. Yeah, I like that. Lots of potential. You always have the big play potential with Worthy. She says, I have Mahomes and Allen in leagues, and I feel so let down on the season so far. So I think I just like Monty out of the whole trade, talking about the one earlier, which I think was the consensus. Here we go. So we got Nino Pena coming in saying, but we going Chase Brown versus Cleveland or Pop Douglas versus Jacksonville. Rachel, give me the answer. What are we doing?
I'm actually really big on Pop Douglas this week against that Jacksonville Jaguars defense. And what he's doing with Drake May, they're connecting. And he's like the best option on the Patriots. I know it's the Patriots, which are very struggling this season, but I mean, he's the guy there. So I'm going Pop Douglas as a flex option.
I have to correct you, okay? And I'm sorry to do this live on air, but as a diehard Arkansas Razorbacks fan, Hunter Henry is the target there. No, I'm just kidding. I am a huge Razorbacks fan, and I played Hunter Henry a week ago when he had a killer game or at least solid game for tight ends this season. But as far as receiver, they're running double tight ends and hoping for a receiver to emerge. And if there is one, I think you nailed it. Pop Douglas it seems to be the guy. I know we're all hoping for Polk or, to come out of his shell, but, old Pop's just consistent. He's there. He's available. And Drake May looks sharp. I think he looks sharp for rookie first start.
I love Chase Brown, guys. I think that we're starting to see a change. I know this. Okay, so when the season started, before they got Zach Moss, the Bengals, I was excited for Chase Brown at big time, but I always knew that one of his struggles was pass protection, right? So they bring in Zach Moss, who's really good at it, but Zach Moss is just not as electric as Chase Brown. And with them playing from behind or being in shootouts because of their defense, you're seeing more of the Chase Brown factor. And last week he had 62% of his snap percentage. And Chase Brown, to me, guys, is just electric. He can get in the red zone. He's not a huge guy, but he's about 210 pounds, so he's not a small back either. So he's a little bit more compact. But I like Chase Brown a lot. I do understand the Pop Douglas, especially going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think this is a good situation for whoever that was who asked it. But I just really like what Chase Brown has done.
I agree. Chase Brown, he's a deep grab for me in Dynasty. I grabbed him in third round of most Dynasty drafts, third, fourth round, and I knew Zach. Like we all know Zach Moss. So we've seen him play. We knew he wasn't going to be the answer, right? And we've seen Brown emerge as the season's going on, and really more than emerge, make the electric plays. Like Moss has been consistent, but like when you see a big play, when you see a big run, when you go, oh wow, that was he just kind of jolted through there and scored right then. It's Chase Brown, So I have him in a lot of dynasty leagues. I'm really excited about that. Jake, so let me ask. It sounds like we're kind of divided here. We got Pop Douglas on Rachel's side. We got Chase Brown on Tipp's side. Break the tie for us. Who are we taking this week?
This week, you kind of have to go with Chase Brown. He's just the safer option here. He's done it consistently against multiple teams. And Pop Douglas, yes, he's shown flashes, but he's been inconsistent. We don't know what Drake May is going to do. You have Kayshon Boutte, you have Baker, you have Polk, you have Hunter Henry, as you said, is the leading target share there. And so Chase Brown just continues to put up numbers, continues to get more touches in that backfield consistently in an offense that should be electric against a Cleveland Browns team that is not the defense that it was last year. And the Bengals have been playing good football. So give me Chase in that aspect of those two players. So,
but again, let Nino know, like he or she, I'm sorry, I don't know. But anyway, they have a really good option at both. I mean, you can almost get away with playing with both of them and maybe look at somebody else on the team that you could possibly sit who has a tougher matchup, because both of them have good matchups and they're both a higher upside.
Yeah, agreed. Tava said thanks. They yeah.
Wow.
They accepted the trade. Way to go, team, for leading that way. Now owner of Monty.
Wow.
What sort of value does Jonathan Taylor have right now? I want to grab him for a lower value, but I'm not sure what to offer. Roster is Mason, Robinson Jr., Neighbors, Jameson, Cooper, Kelsey. Is there somebody there that you would be willing to deal for a Jonathan Taylor right now, or that you think could get Jonathan Taylor?
I mean, I'll start this off. I think you get rid of Mason there. You could probably do a Jameson and a Mason trade right there for Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is the lead back there when he is healthy, and he's produced points there. So that is what you want in your fantasy lineup there. He is young. I assume this is redraft just because it's not specified that it's dynasty, but those are the points you want. Yes, I think they were just keeping him this week out just to make sure he's fully healthy. But going forward, Jonathan Taylor is going to be the back you want. And with CMC coming back, you can probably get off of Mason right now, and Jameson Williams, who's had his ups and downs, to somebody who needs a receiver and a running back.
Anybody? Rachel, you got a different take? You feeling that?
I think that's really a really good take there. Yeah, I like going with the Mason, the hot hand there.
I appreciate it.
No, I agree. I think that you're probably going to have to add like a Jameson or something to Mason to get him. And that's just because, anytime you do a trade, it's a running back for running back. They know, like, you feel like you're getting the better player. Like, it's hard to do same position for same position player or trades. But maybe you could even get somebody of a lesser value, back with JT in that trade. But, because Jameson's been electric at times. Like, I really like how Jameson's played this year. He's been a little bit up and down, but still some big games there. So I think that's a good assessment. Let's see here. Nino Pena said, I need more of a high upside shot rather than a floor play this week at quarterback. Keep Kyler in versus the Chargers, Stafford versus Vegas, Dalton versus Washington, Danny versus Philly.
Man, that's a ton of options.
Yeah,
it is 4 quarterbacks in the single quarterback league. You holding them hostage over here.
So if you're going, anybody want to take this?
Yeah, I'll go. I think that it's going to be Dalton for me. I think that has the more opportunity for a higher upside, or higher scoring game. I do like the Kyler effect because of the legs. That's the thing, and that is the thing. So I would like to know what their passing touchdown is versus that. Like, if it's 6-point passing touchdown, then it's kind of a wash. But if it's a 4-point passing touchdown, then I might have to go with the Kyler situation just because of the rushing upside. He can get those legs going. The thing with the Chargers, though, is they're one of they're not allowing a lot of points scored. They're allowing some yards, but they're not allowing a lot of points scored. I want to say that last time I checked, it was like 12.5 points per game. So it could be a tough outing for them. I do think that Marvin he practiced full today, so he should play. But it was a concussion. But I think that Dalton, that has a chance to be a little bit of a shoot. The Panthers can't stop anybody. They're letting teams score 33 points a game on them. And then, the Commanders are letting people score on them as well. Not at that rate, but I think that Andy Dalton's going to have to throw the ball to keep up.
Does it worry you at all that Deontay Johnson is questionable? Since he's dealing with several injuries, may not play.
Yeah, it does. He's questionable all the time.
every week.
Yeah. If Deontay Johnson is out, then yeah, you got to go Kyler. But then again, he said he had Daniel Jones too, right? He's got Malik back. He's got Malik back. But man, Daniel Jones is just so sporadic with the ball. It's not. I don't know if I could trust it. So yeah, I would go with Dalton. As long as Johnson's playing. If Johnson's not playing, then go back up with Kyler.
Oh yeah, no.
Rachel's cat is dropping in her 2
That
cents.
is a beautiful cat. Sure. It looks so soft.
Take Kyler there.
This is Grayson, everybody. He wants
Grayson
to be the star of the show, as always.
Yeah,
I get it, Grayson. I like it.
Well, Rachel, you and Grayson can answer the next question. Do I start Higgins, Tyreek, or Kareem Hunt at flex? Wide receivers are Amon-Ra, Reed, Higgins, Tyreek. Running backs are Kyron, Cook, Kareem Hunt, Bucky, and Tracy. 12 team. Thanks again. So who are you going with that flex? Higgins, Tyreek, or Kareem?
Oh my gosh. That's like my first gut was to say Kareem Hunt, but then I'm like, am I really passing up Tyreek? That feels wrong, right? But Kareem Hunt is doing really good. That's my lean is Kareem Hunt.
Okay.
They have San Francisco this week.
Yeah, that's
San Francisco. You can run on them.
Yeah. I don't know. I might have an oddball one here for T. Higgins. He has produced the last few weeks. He looks more comfortable in that offense, and they are going against the Browns defense. And so Ward will probably line up against Chase. And Higgins has been putting up numbers. Tyreek, you just can't gamble with it right now with what Huntley at quarterback. Tua is still on IR with his concussion. And then Kareem Hunt going up against the 49ers. Yeah, they've allowed a lot of rushing, and their defense hasn't been what it was over the last few years. But T. Higgins might surprise a lot of people this week for that matchup. And if you're playing matchups, that's kind of what I do there.
I'm kind of with you. I'm a Higgins fan. I like Higgins. I think Burrow looks at him often. You know, I like T. My only worry in that game is I don't think that the Bengals have to score a lot of points to win, which is the only worry on that. But I don't really think, I'm excited to start either of the other two as well. I mean, it's hard to sit Tyreek. Let me see. But Indy is atrocious against the pass.
Oh, they are.
Yes.
They're atrocious against the pass.
Yes.
I don't know. I may lean Rachel. I may go Tyreek here.
Rachel said Hunt.
Oh, did she say Hunt?
I said Hunt, yeah.
Oh.
You can definitely go Hill.
I would go Hill.
I don't think we helped anybody.
We're not helping.
No. Look, I would go Hill on this one. And you just said it, Tyler, how bad that Colts defense is. They've had 37 missed tackles as well. And what is Tyreek Hill? He's a missed tackling machine. Like that's what people do. They always are slipping off of him. He's finding ways to get around them. I like the other two players, Kareem Hunt. A lot of people have been talking about the CEH or Clyde Edwards-Helaire effect. I want to see what happens with that because they keeping him there for a reason. And but I know Kareem Hunt has looked great. And I like the T. Higgins call, but I do also agree with what you said about the team. They may not have to do much because that offense in Cleveland is so bad. Like they could probably score 21 points and then just be like, okay, let's run the ball because Cleveland can't score right now.
Yeah. All right, we got a question coming over from Twitch. Guys, guy who's 0-6 in my league is dumping his players. And he offered me Higgins for a 6 next year. For like a 6th round pick? Or I guess maybe
is this a keeper league?
Maybe it's a keeper league. I'm guessing it's a keeper league because if it was Dynasty and it's a 6th, that's a smash, and I don't even know what the heck they're doing. But if it's a keeper league, you give your 6th round pick for Higgins.
I say give him a 4. I think you can go 4.
A 6 next year for Higgins right now. Kawaji, if you're competing, if you're contending, then yes. If you're trying to win the league, then you make this trade. If you're not, then no. But that's about all I can say for that. I don't have much experience in keeper leagues, but 6th round pick is a little steep, I think, for Higgins. But it's all if you're contending or not, honestly.
I think you can get a 4th round pick for it because T. Higgins most likely is not going to be in Kansas or a Bengal next year.
He's going to be getting Higgins. He's given the 6th for Higgins.
Oh, he's getting Higgins. Oh, well then, yeah. I would see if you could. Higgins is only 25. He's young, man.
Well, keeper leagues you only get to keep like 3 players.
Yeah.
So Higgins next year would cost you I guess I don't know. It depends on what his cost is in the keeper league, but a 6th round pick, that's about where I think he goes in redraft currently at the current state of the world.
Yeah.
Right. But if it's next year and like, let's say he goes somewhere to be like a wide receiver 1, that value is going to change significantly. So it really just hinges on that. I mean, do y'all think he lands his job like that?
So wait, let me make sure I understand. He gets Higgins, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would hold off. Yeah. I would hold off. Because wide receivers, man, like they're so deep right now. And it's only going to get deeper next year when this class that's playing now, the rookie class is his second year. I think you can get somebody in the 6th round, really, a good value. I think Higgins might even that the owner, whoever has Higgins, may not even keep him. They may put him back into the pot or into the draft pot. So I think I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Rachel, you agree?
Now that I'm looking at it.
I don't have a lot of experience with keeper leagues, so I'm trying to. But yeah, he's a 6th round this year. So, but if he goes somewhere else, like you said, Tyler. Yeah, I would hold off as well. Just pass because there's a lot of wide receivers you can get around that area, and just let it go.
Because if let's say that he stays in Cincinnati, right? Let's say he stays there, then his value goes down, or not down, but I mean he's the number 2. We know who the number 1 is over there. But if he goes to now it all is predicated on who he goes to as well. If he goes to a team like the San Francisco 49ers, well, I think that the manager would want to keep T. Higgins. Or if he goes to somebody like the Kansas City Chiefs, but if he goes to somebody like the New England Patriots, I mean, yeah, they might be a little bit better, but it's like if that was me, I would be like, oh, I'm going to drop T. Higgins off my team. I got these other guys who are going to give me points, more consistently. But it just really, there's a lot of variables. But I'm like what everybody kind of hold on that one.
Yeah, I mean, you got to really need a wide receiver to make that deal. And I say that because right now Higgins is, wide receiver 2. And I don't know how deep the league is, but you're going to have to go. You're going to have to. It's going to have to be. You're going to have significant need to be willing to give that much up for Higgins, in my opinion. So new here, Drake May is a top 5 play this week. Matthiasen, welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe. I think Drake May could have a good week. I don't know if he's a top 5 play, but I think he could have a good week. Let's see. Nino Pina, appreciate that tip, but I think I'm going to go with what Rachel's cat said this week. Grayson getting some love. So you guys, as you know, this show is sponsored by the Fantasy Sports Advice Network. That's fantasysportsadvice.com. It is the only premier social media platform for fantasy sports only. No CrossFit workouts, no politics, no pictures of my grandma on her birthday. It's just ball. And so we always go over to the site and take a question from there. So we're going to pop over and do that real quick after this ad.
We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com today.
I know that voice.
Yeah, you do.
That's Dan. That voice. Hey,
it's a good one. So this is FantasySportsAdvice.com. Again, it is a fantasy sports social media platform. People ask questions, they talk ball, and we had this one come in from Dom Ham today, 14, and he asked, guys, should I trade A.J. Brown and Ramondre Stevenson for Jahmyr Gibbs? This is my team. Stevenson is currently on his bench. So it looks like he's starting at quarterback, CJ Stroud, running backs, A-Chain and Kenneth Walker, wide receivers, A.J. Brown, Jamar Chase, tight end Njoku, flex Deontay Johnson, Steelers defense. Looks like he's got Coleman and Dowdle down there on the bench as well. Are any of you doing this? Are you trading A.J. Brown and Ramondre for Gibbs?
Not at all. You don't do that at all. And my reasoning behind this is A.J. Brown is the wide receiver 1 for the Eagles right now. He is finally back. He is healthy, and he is going to put up the wide receiver 1 numbers that he's been doing consistently the past 5 years that he's been in. And Stevenson is the bell cow for the Patriots. Yes, he has had fumbling issues. They want Antonio Gibson to come in. But at the end of the day, they started Antonio Gibson last week, and Stevenson still outproduced, did everything right. And so I would keep those two. Gibbs is playing with Montgomery. They want to run the ball, and the only time Gibbs is a factor is when they have to pass the ball, and he's getting the dump offs and the screens, and they just haven't been in those scenarios where Montgomery is the back. He gets the goal line carries, and so you're kind of taking a gamble with Gibbs and just going on his name, not really what he's doing right now in fantasy football.
Anybody else got a different take? We on the same page?
Yeah, I would not give up Brown. I wonder, what do you guys think of like if he did like Deontay and Stevenson for Gibbs? That'd be a little bit closer than giving up Brown.
Yeah.
I like that. I do like Ramondre. I think that their schedule's not crazy tough. You always deal with that. There is some like running back, like a little bit of running back weariness on his team. But I mean, AJ Brown and Jamar Chase is like your wide receivers. It's hard to let that go, especially knowing like you're gonna have to plug Deontay in, or you're gonna have to plug, Keon Coleman into that spot to try to fill that gap. And honestly, I don't want those two have to play wide receiver spots to get weaker, because it's a pretty strong duo. And I'm always a fan of trying to make sure that you have the maximum amount of points per spot versus trying to thin out your roster. And I don't know what your other wide receivers look like, but based on what's at the top of your bench, I don't know that you really have a replacement for that production. Pop back over to YouTube. We got Jilko in the chat. Should I start Cooper Kupp, Amari Cooper? Sorry, I thought he was saying Cooper or Kupp, but Cooper Kupp, Amari Cooper, Deontay Johnson, or Marvin Harrison Jr. Pick one. Ready, set, go. That's how hard the question is right there. That's how hard the question. Rachel, what do you think?
I'm going to Amari Cooper. I think there's going to be excitement with him on the new Bills team, and he's going to come in with guns blazing. Cooper Kupp, I'm nervous with the first game. Deontay Johnson has been questionable all week, and Marvin Harrison was questionable as well, right?
Yeah.
He should probably be okay, but I like the Amari. There's going to be excitement with him on the Bills, and I think they're going to want to connect with Josh Allen right away and show him what they can do.
Jacob, you look like you're holding just something back, like it's about to bust out of you. What's
To me, this is Deontay Johnson. For this week, that's the one you should start. He's going up against the Washington Commanders. They haven't stopped anything, but they put up a ton of points. And like Tipp said earlier, Andy Dalton is going to have to throw the ball. And what Deontay Johnson has done, he's put up 20 points multiple times over the last few weeks. And Cooper Kupp coming back from the injury, you don't know what you're going to get. Yes, Cooper Kupp has been that guy for that offense, and Amari Cooper in a new offense, you don't know what you're doing, and Marvin Harrison, or you don't know what you're getting with Amari Cooper yet, and then Marvin Harrison Jr., just concussion. Kyler Murray hasn't been playing his best. You have McBride. So to me, Deontay Johnson is the only weapon outside of Chubb, but I think they're going to be behind the sticks, passing the ball a lot, so you want Deontay Johnson here personally, and that's who I would play.
Tipp, you in agreement? You shaking your head? Yeah.
It's going to sound silly, I know. I'm going to take the upside on Cooper Kupp just because I think there's a couple of things going on. I think that they're playing the Raiders, my beloved Raiders, first of all. I love my team, but this is fantasy football. I got to be real. The Raiders right now are in shambles. Like our whole team is in shambles right now. The other thing I'll say is they could be showcasing Cooper Kupp. They're wanting him to come back to showcase him and trade him away. That I've been hearing some trade rumors going out there. There's 3 teams that are looking at it. I don't know how true it is. It's just some things that pop up on my little feed or my Google or Yahoo or whatever. And the other thing is the chemistry between Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. That takes them no time. Like that. Yeah. That chemistry those two guys have, it's amazing to watch. There's not many like it other than maybe Travis Kelce and Mahomes, and maybe Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers now. Maybe we'll see that. But yeah, their chemistry, it doesn't take them. They may need a couple of series and then after that, they're locked in. And then there's no Puka. Yeah, I think Cooper Kupp, if he plays, it's just because the Marvin Harrison situation, the Deontay Johnson situation is good. I love it, but we don't know about the injury situation. He's questionable. All of them are questionable, it seems like, but except for Amari Cooper. And I do like the Amari Cooper call. I just think it takes a week or two because of the chemistry that they have to build. But I like the Cooper Kupp thing. I think if he plays, they might try to showcase him this week.
I actually am also on the Cooper Kupp train because that defense, and I'm sorry, Tipp, it's a rough season for you, man. But the Raiders are not good. And what we see from Matthew Stafford, right, year after year is he locks onto a receiver and he hyper targets. Right. I do think that this is a big game for Kyron. I don't think that they really need to throw the ball, but I think when they do throw the ball, it's going to be to Kupp. And, Kupp could easily see double-digit receptions while they force feed Kyron. You know what I mean? Because that is how Stafford works. Like he locks onto somebody, he feeds them. It doesn't matter if they're getting sandwiched between three wide receivers or three DBs. He's going to try to fit that ball in there and get it to whoever his guy is. So I think they're excited about that this week, and so that's the way I'm rolling. But that's a killer question.
Yeah,
and, hopefully we gave you enough context to lean that way. So D Hans is worried. He saw Juju dropped another TikTok video, and he was doing his dance thing, and now here he is, popped up on the injury report, seeming like he's going to play. How do you feel about it? Are you rolling with Juju? Was it a one-off week? You're not buying it? Or are we all in on Juju this week? Rachel, based on your grimace, I want to know your take first.
It's hard to trust if it was just a one-off week, and that offense, it can be, anybody. It could be getting the ball. I mean, it depends on your options on whatever direction you go. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm all in on Juju, but I'm not saying I'm not in on him. I'm not helping.
It seems like if Rachel has another option besides Juju, she's probably going the other option.
Yes, that's where I'm going. Sorry, words fail me.
No, the great, with it, Tipp, you agree? Are you firing?
I agree. I'm not. I don't believe in his name in itself. I don't. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I just don't. I don't think Juju, man. Look, he is what he once was. I just don't think that he's somebody you can trust, and it's a hamstring injury. I'm going to go back and look, when Jacob gives his, I'm going to go back and look at his injury history because he has a pretty extensive one. I'm pretty sure there's a hamstring on there somewhere. And, he's a little older. He's not too old. He's actually pretty young still. But I don't trust it, man. I know you got Mahomes throwing him the ball. I get it. I don't know. Something about Juju. I just don't trust it, man.
I'm out too. Over on Twitch, Franco, would you guys trade Brian Thomas Jr. and J.K. Dobbins for Gibbs and Odunze? What do you think, Jake?
Oh, man, that's rough, but I think you got to go. Man, that is a rough one.
I almost thought you froze for a second.
No, I think you go Brian Thomas Jr. and Dobbins here, even though I want to say Gibbs and Rome, but Rome has so much competition, and Brian Thomas, he's performed. He's put, I think, up outside of last week, put up 15 fantasy points or more. And then J.K. Dobbins has proven that he is the back in that backfield. I know Vidal got that 50-yarder against Denver that everybody's just like, oh, he's the lead back. No, it is J.K. Dobbins' backfield. Gus Edwards is hurt. So I think you go Brian Thomas here and Dobbins.
Yeah, it's tough to turn down Gibbs. That's the highlight in the deal. But,
maybe I'm just like
I'm kind of with you. I really like Brian Thomas Jr. And I feel like every game he's just like right there for a touchdown. Like, he dropped a touchdown this week, and we have a totally different, game there. And, that rapport that's being built, I love it. And I will say this, and I don't know, Tip, if it was the show you were on or if it was the one right after that, but I got laughed at on screen because I said, guys, Cole Kmet and Caleb Williams are developing a chemistry.
Oh no,
I was like, he is looking at him. He is looking to throw on the ball. It was like Kmet's first game back, and they were like, no way. And then here we are, and it's like, I mean, every week, boom, 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 and we're seeing, the Kmet we all wanted. I'm like, I mean, I'm still being able to get them off waivers, and I'm like, what are these people thinking? But that there's a lot of, I agree, Caleb is spreading the ball a little bit, but you look at DJ Moore, rough week last week, right? But the consistent one in the offense is Cole Kmet. And so I don't hopefully Rome just comes out and continues to grow in that offense. But, you have a Brian Thomas Jr. that's already hitting wide receiver 1. I think, as of last week, he was like wide receiver 17 or 13 on the year. I know this week dropped him down just a little bit on that performance, but he still could have had another touchdown. And Dobbins has been the Dobbins wheel. He still looks a little stiff, but, man, he's still running the thing. So I'm with you there. I want those two. We're going to keep moving because we're piling up with questions.
And I was looking up on my phone. I was looking up Juju Smith-Schuster. He has had a hamstring. It's been a while, but he has had a hamstring injury.
I told you, man, that dang TikTok video, it got him. Just reached up and grabbed that hamstring, and now he's out. Nino Pena traded Mike Evans and Tank Dell for A.J. Brown in my 10-man. Did I give up too much value? Ooh, that's a pretty tough one to give up. I think in the immediate, I feel better, or I feel bad about it with Nico out. Yeah, I think you gave it too much.
Just a little bit too
much. Just a little bit too much.
I agree.
All right, moving on. Colby Ward said I would do that in a heartbeat. Rest of season, Gibbs over these guys, even with Montgomery. Receiving back, not going on a name thing. So Colby's saying he disagrees. He would take the deal and take Gibbs. I love Gibbs. I think Gibbs is electric. What I worry is that you just don't have the power to replace what you're giving up. And when you get down to it, I don't think that, your Dobbins has been close. I mean, what's Dobbins ranked right now in running back? Let's see here. Currently running back 15 is averaging close to 20 points a game. First game 26, second game 25. Against Pitt and Kansas City, which are two of the tougher defenses in the league, he still managed almost 13 points. And then against Denver, went for 24. He's got Arizona. He's got New Orleans, who just got gassed by Javonte Williams. He's got Cleveland, Tennessee, Cincinnati. Like, that's his next. And so you got nothing but big weeks there as long as he stays healthy. So I don't know that Gibbs is ranked right now. I think last I checked, he was ranked. He's ranked 13, so he's slightly above Dobbins. But the big drop off is Brian Thomas Jr. against the Adunze, and that's what kills the deal for me. Brian Thomas Jr. currently is wide receiver 13 on the season. So that's why we are where we are on it, it sounds like. But I do agree. It's hard to turn down Gibbs right there, because especially if Monty, which he typically does, gets banged up at some point, right? And he has to miss a game or two. Those games are going to be elite for Gibbs. We got Matthias, and in my opinion, Stevenson is a bum. Everybody's been on that page. Usually when he gets hurt or when he fumbles, it's just who you value more, Brown or Gibbs. that was referring to our question earlier. Rachel getting some love in the chat. Let's see. Colby said, I don't think Cup is going to play. If not, Wan'Dale Robinson, Dubes, or Digsby in my flex spot. So if Cooper Cup does not play, are you going Wan'Dale, Romeo, or Tank in your flex? I already know my answer. I'm going to let one of you guys hit it.
Go ahead, Rachel.
Yeah, I was going to say, Rachel, go ahead.
I'm going to tank Bigsby with ETN being out. Wan'Dale was interesting a little bit, but with Malik Neighbors back, there's going to be competition there. So I'm going to tank Bigsby. He's showing a lot of good flashes, and he's got a good connection with his quarterback. So I'm going Bigsby this week.
And Colby just put something in the chat, and I need him to specify. He said that he was in practice limping, or there was a clip of him. Who is he talking about?
He's talking about Cup. He's talking about Cup.
He's talking about Cup? Oh, okay. I need to see that clip.
Yeah, I honestly think Cup is a week away from actually being like viable as a starter, but that's just me and my opinion. It's why we do fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't look right, he's not going to play. That's simple as that. But if he looks right, he's going to play, and that's what it is. So, and if the team deems him to look that they feel like he looks right, he's going to play. My thing is, he doesn't need the connection like some of these other players. When they come back from injury, it takes them a minute or two to get the connection back with their quarterback. That's not the case with Cooper Kupp and Stafford. They I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
They have breakfast together, man.
Yeah. So my thing is, if Cooper Kupp is on the field, I wouldn't hate it if you were willing to take roll the dice and play him. I mean, yeah, I would do it. I as a matter of fact, I got Cooper Kupp in a few leagues, and if he's active on Sunday, I'm sliding him into the lineup. It's just see what happens.
Oh yeah.
I agree. If he doesn't play, I'm with you, Rachel. I want Tank.
Yeah, I like Tank too. Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah,
he had a bad week last week too. He seems like the type person. The way he runs, he seems like that probably angered him.
Yeah. You got Matthias saying, "I'd rather start Pop Douglas over all those guys. I like Pop, but I still want Bigsby over Pop personally."
Yeah, no.
Matthias, Bigsby over Pop. Yeah, I would agree with that.
No.
Mini Money Maker. Love that. Mini Money Maker over on Twitch. I need help. Can I get JD for Deontay and Brian Thomas Jr.? Or should I offer Devontae and Brian Thomas Jr.? My other wide receivers are Cup and Amon-Ra. Half BPR. Quarterback is Anthony Richardson. So the question is, do you think Brian Thomas Jr. and Deontay Johnson is enough for JD, or does he have to upgrade to Devontae? Or are you just not doing the trade and rolling with A-Rich?
Who's JD? I'm sorry. What?
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jake.
I'm taking Jaden Daniels here, and I'm trading Deontay and Brian Thomas here. I think
the question is, do you think that's enough? Like, do you think he can get Jaden Daniels for those two, or does he have to upgrade to Devontae?
Well, I assume that the guy he's trading needs wide receiver help. That's why he's sending 2 wide receivers here. But in half PPR, you want touchdowns, and I think Devontae with Aaron Rodgers is going to get the touchdowns. He's going to get everything because they're going to be on the same page, and that's all Aaron Rodgers has talked about is we're just not on the same page. That's why they went and traded for him to get him back to run that offense. So Devontae, to me, is a little too high. It's probably what it's going to take to get Jaden Daniels from him. And if your quarterback is AR-15, you make that trade, especially since you have Kupp coming back and Amon-Ra. You have your wide receivers pretty set there, so you're not afraid to get rid of those players. But I think it is going to take Devontae there to get JD.
Can I give Mini Money Maker some advice?
Sure, hit him.
Okay, you got to be patient on this one, my guy or my lady, whoever you are. You've got to be patient because you've got a couple of unknowns. One unknown you have is we don't know how Richardson's going to look. The Miami Dolphins are actually pretty good against the pass. So we got to see how he looks this week. If he looks good, then you can flip that, because now you can say he's had a couple weeks off, he's healthy. He's got to have a good week, though. I'm talking about like quarterback 3 type week. So he's got to be in the top 3. Jaden Daniels, I feel like, is a guy that I would want to keep over Richardson. That's why I'm saying that, because you want or get over Richardson. Wait, what is it again? What is he wants to get Richardson, right?
No, he wants Jaden Daniels.
He wants Jaden Daniels. So that's what I would try to package. Hopefully Richardson has a really good game. Package him with one of those receivers, Deontay Johnson or Brian Thomas Jr., because you do not want to give up Devontae Adams right now. And I kind of like Deontay. I like all 3 of the wide receivers, but you're gonna do Anthony Richardson and one of those wide receivers for Jaden Daniels, because then you give that person another quarterback. You get Richardson off your team, and you get Jaden Daniels on your team in this case, because Jaden Daniels should have a better season. Should he keep playing the way he is, and I think he will. He's really good. Richardson is kind of an unknown. That's why you need to have Richardson to have a really good week this week, so that way you can flip that good week and get one of those wide receivers. But I would not do I would not have Devontae Adams as one of my wide receivers that you get, if that makes sense.
The hard part about that is like waiting 1 week. Like Jaden Daniels got Carolina this week, and he is
but he could also have it could be a bad game. It could be a bad week. And look, we've seen it happen to the best of them. If he does have that, and Anthony Richardson has a good week, you could probably flip it. That's why I say you kind of have to be patient in this one, and it sucks because you got to see what Anthony Richardson does for you.
So you're saying he's got to roll with Richardson this week?
Yeah, I think he has no choice, because he's wanting to give up 2 of those wide receivers, either however way he wants to do it. But I think that the real thing that he should be giving up is Richardson and one of those wide receivers.
I can tell you, I think if you needed to make a push, like if you needed to make a really a heavy push and you wanted to try to get him this week before the game, right? Richardson is playing this week, so you could offer up Richardson. I think that with the hype there, you could probably package Richardson with Devontae. Now, I don't want to do it, but I think you could probably – that might be enough. Or – I don't know. It depends. Sometimes it depends on your buyer. I noticed that you're not really wanting to throw Cooper Kupp in this trade. I might consider throwing Cooper Kupp in this trade if the guy's really, really big on him, especially because we know when he has an injury, it tends to linger, right? It tends to come back and resurface. If you could do Richardson and Kupp this week and get them on a bye there, you might try that.
But Tyler, we're back to that patience game that we have to play, because we don't know if Cooper Kupp's going to be there or not. If he is there, yes, you could do that, but we don't know right now. He's questionable. And one of the people in the chat, I don't remember who it was, said that they saw a clip of him limping. So I hate to say you got a hold on this one, but you kind of have to, because there's a few players on there that have question marks.
All right, Rachel, is Barkley getting a touchdown this week?
Let me pull up my magic 8-ball for you, Frank.
One?
Is he?
Sure. Why not? I mean, it's Saquon Barkley. Sure, I'll say yes.
There you have it, Frank. Rachel says, Tipp says Barkley is going to have a touchdown. If not, Tipp says 3 touchdowns this week against the New York Giants. 4 touchdowns this week against the New York Giants. 5 touchdowns this week against the New York Giants. Whoa, where's your money at, Tipp?
I'm just kidding. No. I think he's going he's mad.
I think a touchdown is very, very, very plausible. Yeah. Gatlin, I saw you came over from Twitch and asked the same question here. Hopefully we gave you a good answer. Tip said, be patient. You could have a big week from Richardson. I mean, we saw week 1. He had a huge week, and he did it on 9 completions. So that's all it takes for him to have a big week. And if he does, I think you have all the ammunition you need to really make that move. And that's what we're kind of hoping for. And sometimes it is a roll of the dice game like that. Like, you got to let your players gain value. It's like this, you got to let that stock bump and hit a spike before you sell it. Otherwise you're not getting your full worth out of it, or you're having to give up too much. You're losing too much selling at that rate. So, hopefully that gave you some good advice on that one. Nino Pena back in, he said, I don't know what it is exactly, but I'm starting to get some sort of panic meter on James Cook. Would you try flipping him for like a Dobbins plus, or just hold? What do you think, Jake?
For me, this is easy. You go J.K. Dobbins, because there's a man in Buffalo named Ray Davis, and he is the truth. He is going to be the leader in that backfield. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. James Cook he's smaller size, and with Cooper coming in, they're going to want to run the ball. They're going to want to throw to Cooper. They're going to want to be consistent, which they have not been able to be. Yes, James Cook has put up those numbers, so if you can trade him for J.K. Dobbins, who is
J.K. Dobbins plus.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins plus, which I think you can get. You're going to get J.K. Dobbins, who is in a run-first offense, an offense that he is the leading back for, and he is going to get more carries and be more consistent for you. You're not going to have to worry about Ray Davis or I can't think of the third running back.
Ty Johnson.
Yeah, Ty Johnson. You're not going to have to worry about those carries being taken away from you. And James Cook coming back from an injury, which is a foot injury, which running backs, they plant, they move, they need that foot. So give me J.K. Dobbins and plus some any day for James Cook. And I see it. I'm trying to constantly try and trade James Cook right now in every league I got.
I will say this. You hit it. Ray Davis looked like a horse, and
what? Wait, what?
So that's a Southern term for like somebody like, dude.
I live in Texas. Hold on, wait, a horse?
A horse, yeah,
horse.
You ain't never heard of that? You're in Texas? Come on, man.
I know.
Maybe
I'm
it's
learning.
Just something we say in the hills of Arkansas. I don't know.
No, you're right. They say it in Bama too. Don't worry.
Horse.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay. Cool.
Hey. All right, we got Matthias and dropping in. I have only 3 running backs: Barkley, Walker, and Taylor. It's a good 3. Which running back on my waiver is most likely to be a league winner in the playoffs? Corum, Wright, Benson, or Tucker? He's second in the league. He's looking to lock in the win. Who out of those are you trying to grab?
I'm going Tucker with what he showed last week? Rashad White is struggling, and we're seeing flashes from Bucky Irving and Sean Tucker, the rise of Sean Tucker. Yeah, that's what I'm going. Sean Tucker. Let's go.
I love the confidence. You let him know, Rachel. You let him know.
Yeah.
Well, like Jalen Wright, you still got Achane and Mostert. I still love Mostert. Sorry, I know he's got injury concerns, but I'm going to be a Mostert truther till the day I die. Corum has not been a thing because Kyron is on fire. And what was the other? Benson? Yeah, Connor is still rocking it. He hasn't. Unless there's injuries that come up, that's all you have to bank on from those other guys. But they haven't come in to steal carries like Sean Tucker has.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tucker got a ton of receiving work that I was really impressed by, and he was electric after he got the ball in his hands. That was exciting. It's a close one for me between Tucker and Benson, and that's just because the amount of workload that Connor is getting. We've seen him start to get a little bit banged up, and he slows down as he gets a little bit banged up, And if that happens, I think Benson gets a good bit more work, and I believe they can run in that offense. Connor's been electric. I was really high on Wright towards the beginning of the season, but when he got his opportunity, we got little bits, we got little spurts, but it's just still too convoluted in a Mike McDaniel offense. So it's between Benson and Tucker for me. But man, Tucker looked great last week. Rachel, you killed it on that.
Oh yeah. No.
Let's
So
see.
with the Bucks, do you think Rashad White's the odd man out then with Irving and Tucker coming in, or do you think they could have a three-headed monster there?
Yeah,
They're gonna try. They're absolutely gonna try. And Tucker, look, when Tucker got drafted, the whole reason he didn't get drafted and went undrafted is because of the heart condition he had. Outside of that, if you look at the tape he had when he was drafted and everything, he was elite. He did everything so great. He caught passes, he ran effectively, and he did everything. And so I don't know about y'all, but in all my dynasty leagues, I owned him.
Oh yeah,
And so to see him do this
everywhere.
week was awesome. And Bucky Irving's good, but he's smaller size. And White has been the most inefficient running back in all of fantasy football. He's just he was just their only back. He got all the volume, all the catches, everything, and that's what made him elite. And now that they're saying it's going to be a three-headed monster, Tucker is the play there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I completely agree with you there. And sorry, I just had to hype up Sean Tucker one more time because love that guy.
Yeah, you guys are all right about, man, Sean Tucker. I've been preaching him, for about 2 weeks now. I think, 2 weeks now. And then last week I really was like, look, I went and scooped him up in every one of my leagues. I think there was one league somebody had him and I was mad. And I ended up trying to trade to get him and I think I traded Rico Dowdle to get him. And I really want him on my team. It's a situation where, yes, it could be a three-headed monster to answer the question, but it also is going to be a hot hand approach. So if Tucker continues to be the hot hand or Bucky Irving, it could be Bucky Irving too. Bucky Irving's a little on the smaller size. He's very efficient for running. You've already seen him get a little banged up this season. Rashad White, I was really big on Rashad White coming into the season. I had him last year in a few leagues. He was a top 10 finish. But the thing with the thing about him is he's slow, like they said. He's a plotter. He just doesn't have that burst like the other two guys have. And the offense like this, that's high scoring. I mean, they score 30 points a game is what they score. You want the guy who's going to be, you want one of these running backs, but I think it is going to be Sean Tucker because he seems like the most versatile and he's a bigger back too. The thing is with him is I gotta look and see how he is on the pass blocking because that is going to be an element that they do still need on Tampa Bay. But see how good he is with pass blocking. I think that he's going to be okay. But yeah, that's the one thing I need to look at. I'm gonna check the film on him on that.
All right, so we're a little bit past our time, kind of a lot of it past our time, and I apologize that for guests. The chat's just been lighting up, so we're gonna lighten round these last couple questions. I'll give you each one. Give us your take, and we'll get on out of here. So, Rach, I'm gonna come to you again. Is Kenneth Walker gonna get a touchdown? It's his birthday on Sunday.
Let me grab my 8-ball again. Is his
It's his birthday. Are they going to give him a birthday tutty?
Sure. Yes, for his birthday, he will get a touchdown. Let's go.
Yes! Birthday touchdown! Birthday touchdowns all around. Happy birthday, Make-A-Wish. You got a tutty. Tip. Steve asks, he says this is PPR for me, redraft, Kamara, Aaron Jones, BTJ, or Kenneth Walker and London. I will tell you this. I started Kamara this week. I thought he was going to have a balling week, and the exact opposite happened. So I am not even fit to even answer this question. Okay. I imagine.
I don't even know what is he asking. Is he asking to start these players trade?
I think he's saying
which side do you take?
For the trade? For a trade? Yeah. I'm gonna go the Kenneth Walker London. I'm going Kenneth Walker London. I think that gives you more of upside. Like Aaron Jones, he is, I think, their best running back, but he's got to be healthy. BTJ, I love BTJ, but that offense. And then Kamara, again, that offense. We saw what happened last night. There's going to be a direct correlation of Kamara. I know Kamara is a beast in the PPR game, but if you can't get the ball to him, you're going to have nights like you did last night. So I'm going Kenneth Walker. And that Seattle Seahawks offense is Geno Smith has not been efficient, but he is throwing the ball. Like he's averaging like 41 attempts per game. It's crazy. And London is starting to fall. It's starting to come into place too. So I like the upside on that Seattle offense and the Falcons offense.
Jake, are you in agreement?
Oh yeah, give me Kenneth Walker in London here. London is the target hog in that offense right now. He has Kirk Cousins' complete trust, and he is finally that wide receiver one that you drafted in the first round, and he's looking like the truth there. And Kenneth Walker, when healthy, is the running back in that offense, gets all the carries, and with them throwing the ball a lot, he's not in the loaded boxes. And like Tipp said, Kamara, Aaron Jones, they're great, but Aaron Jones is hurt. Kamara in that offense is bad, and Brian Thomas is just he's good, just a rookie still. So there's those moments.
All right, and then the last question, Kyle Brownell. Appreciate you tuning in. Hit that like and sub. We're staying on for your last question. Is it worth starting Kupp if he plays if I have a healthy T and Tank on my bench? So you go with the iffy. Dadgummit, we keep getting more questions. Do you go with an iffy Kupp or a healthy T or Tank? This is yours, Jake.
If Kupp plays, you play Kupp. No ifs, ands, or buts. That is the man. That is Matthew Stafford's man. Tipp has said it 100 times already. I've said they had breakfast together all the time, like every sports announcer likes to say. Kupp is the dude. He wins leagues. You play him.
I agree. And the last question, first person to speak gets it. Half PPR, start 3 wide receivers, Neighbors, Cooper, Addison, Downs, Douglas, Dell.
They're in his IR spot. Or in my IR spot, Purcell.
Thanks. I'll hit subscribe and tune in again. Appreciate the Tucker praise. So start 3 wide receivers. Who are your 3? Go, Jake.
Oh, my 3 easy. It's Neighbors, Cooper, and you go down if Flacco's playing. If not, you go Pop Douglas.
Well, wait, we don't like Addison. I like Addison. I think it's Neighbors Cup or Neighbors Cooper Addison, because I think that game in Detroit's gonna be high scoring. The last 5 games between those two teams, the combined total points was 53 points per game. So I think that's another high scoring game. I'm going Addison instead of Downs. But if Flacco's there, then I'll swap out Downs for Addison because I think Downs will get more.
Rachel.
I was exactly with Jake. Like if Flacco's there, I'm doing Downs, but Neighbors and Cooper were all on agreement with that. But yeah, I was with Jake on that.
None of us said Dell though.
No, he's been inconsistent this year. I mean,
They got Green Bay.
Yeah.
And then lightning round is Henry and Mostert also getting touchdowns. So if you are trying to do a anytime touchdown, you have Barkley, you have Kenneth Walker. I think you have Henry. I'm not sure about
for
Mostert.
sure. For sure,
you
Derrick
got
Henry.
Derrick Henry there. Those are the 3 I'm rolling with. I'm leaving Mostert out of the bunch, and that's my anytime touchdown parlay. Thank you for tuning in to From the Forum. Appreciate everybody that's on the guest show tonight. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure that you go to fantasysportsadvice.com and sign up. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and we will see you next week at 9:00 Central Standard Time with From the Forum. Peace and have a good night.
We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to fantasysportsadvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to Fantasy Sports